joined by Nick Kaufman, his defense counsel at the International Criminal Court, joining us from Jerusalem today. So really appreciate you joining on the program here. First, I want to just get your response to some of these claims made by the attorneys there for Al Jazeera that we just played a bit. What do you think of those arguments?
Well, first of all, I have to say that I think there's a bit of a misunderstanding. It was widely published in the media a few days ago that Al Jazeera has filed a complaint against Israel at the International Criminal Court. There already is an investigation open against Israel for its activities in the occupied territories. And we know that because it happened almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
At the time, if you remember, the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, stated that this was an anti-Semitic act. He called the former prosecutor, Batu Bensouda, an anti-Semite. But let's put that on the side.
Yes.
More interest to us now is whether or not, as the United States rightly said, the International Criminal Court can be seized of this act. Now, the International Criminal Court operates on the basis of what's called complementarity. So first of all, if a state has carried out a thorough investigation, then it will not seize itself of that particular case. Secondly, it operates on the basis of dealing with the most serious crimes.
Yeah.
Is this the most serious crime? It's a tragic crime. It's an awful crime. If it is a crime, obviously, that's the whole purpose of an investigation, to determine whether or not a crime has been carried out. And yes, there should be accountability, and yes, it should be properly investigated. The question is, and one incident, the death of a journalist, however famous she may be, is that the sort of case that the International Criminal Court will deal with? And the answer to that is unfortunately no, it's not. Unless, of course, and the argument has been made by other organizations, that this is part of a policy conducted by Israel in the occupied territories specifically to target journalists, then maybe there might be an arguable case for the International Criminal Court to investigate the matter.
As far as I'm
understanding,
that evidence is certainly not emerging. But on the issue of evidence and around this issue, this, again, Qatari state-owned television network, they submitted what they claim was detailed evidence now proving that the IDF deliberately shot their reporter in this clash in May.
Well, actually, I did actually sit down and watch the Fault Lines documentary this morning in preparation for this interview. I didn't find anything particularly new there, quite frankly. What I did note was that the principal witnesses to the incident were not interviewed by the Israeli authorities. There was a military inquiry into this matter. There wasn't a formal investigation carried out by the military police. But if what they're arguing is in fact true, and I don't know because I haven't had access to the military investigation, then yes, they should be interviewed by the Israeli authorities, and if necessary, the Israeli authorities should review their conclusions. At the present moment in time, we're at the stage where it cannot be determined from which gun the bullet was fired, and so any other evidence which might be of relevance should be brought before the Israeli authorities. Whether or not one trusts the Israeli authorities to carry out a proper and credible investigation is a different matter entirely. Obviously, there is a lot of mistrust on the Palestinian side. I'm not sure at the present moment in time, I've tried to find this out, whether or not the family have bothered instructing counsel in Israel to approach the Supreme Court by way of application to disclose the contents of that report, and then argue for a criminal investigation to be carried out.
But again, just the fact that that mechanism's in place, I mean, it sort of negates the role of the ICC, would it not?
I don't think that the ICC has any role here. I did note that the lawyer who was acting on behalf of the Abu Akleh family, his name's Rodney Dixon. He's the same lawyer who was promoting the Mavi Marmara complaint representing the Comoros Islands at the ICC back in 2013. So he's well recognized as a lawyer for the for Palestinian causes. But once again, I would urge the Abu Akleh family to apply to the Israel Supreme Court for disclosure of the military report that was conducted.
We will see if they choose to take that course of action. Of course, that's open to them. Nick Kaufman, thanks for being with us here. This is obviously a muddy issue at times to get through, so appreciate your clarity on it. Thank you.